The Christian church is through.
Empty pews, silent bells, and closed doors. That could soon be a reality across the country. The National Council of Churches estimates that roughly 100,000 U.S. churches could close in the coming years, citing declining attendance, rising costs, and the aftermath of COVID-19 as contributing factors. I'm Brianna Dennehy, reporting from First Baptist Church in Abilene, where Pastor Ray Miller is weighing in on a change that could permanently reshape the landscape of American faith. While numerical projections may rise and fall, Ray Miller believes the church is entering a period of change.
Stats come and go. We don't know how God's going to intervene and be involved. I do believe that church is going to be different in the next few years, but I also believe that church is always going to be relevant and always going to be important to people's lives. Part of what's driving this is the aging out of some people. Within it, there's smaller attenders among millennials and Gen Z. But what churches need to do is get back to humble service, loving your neighbor, and having a deep fellowship with God and inviting people into that journey with God, into salvation and seeing the redemption of the world happen through Jesus Christ.
As churches nationwide face mounting pressures, the focus is shifting to how church leaders plan to adjust. K-Texas asked, what steps is First Baptist Church of Abilene taking now to safeguard its future?
We're always asking questions on how are we doing at reaching the next generation. Particularly for us, we have a huge community outreach that we invite people to participate in. So we want you to come serve alongside us, and as you serve alongside us, we believe that you'll meet the Savior.
Some local residents say the real question isn't whether churches will adapt, but whether people still want what they're preaching.
I'm with the church. I would leave too. I would shut down too. A lot of them would rather close down than to conform to giving up on what makes the church, and that's been the constant in the community. You know what I'm saying? You have to have a constant message, and the people just don't want that constant message. I guess God is saying, okay, then we got to go somewhere else, because God doesn't go where he's not wanted.
Others point to hypocrisy, where the ideals embraced during worship are frequently at odds with everyday behavior.
Maybe God just got tired and he needs a break from all of us, because we're just not listening anyway. We would go and pretend to be something that we're not in church, and then come back out and do whatever we want, and God's like, you reap what you sow.
The coming years will reveal which churches survive and which become a part of history.
All praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rikakwadash. Peace and blessings to the hopeful elect, and double honors to the elders at Great Millstone. This lesson is entitled, The Christian Church is Through. Okay? Isaiah 19, in verses 1. The burden of Egypt, behold, the Lord rideth upon a swift cloud, and shall come into Egypt, and the idols of Egypt shall be moved at his presence, and the heart of Egypt shall melt in the midst of it. And Egypt is a similitude for America today, the house of bondage for the children of Israel. Let's go to verse 3. And the spirit of Egypt shall fail in the midst thereof, and I will destroy the counsel thereof. And they shall seek to idols, and to charmers, and to them that have familiar spirits, and to wizards. Okay, so these Edomites, the so-called white man, and all of these Christian churches are closing, okay, all right, because the Lord is not dealing with them. They're dealing with the children of Israel, okay, so-called Negroes, Native Americans, Hispanics, all right, whereas the tribe of Judah, the so-called Negro, the African American, is leading the way, all right, okay. The Lord has rested his spirit upon the prophets, the teachers, and he does not dwell in the church, all right. Acts 7 and 48, and it reads, Howbeit the Most High dwelleth not in temples made with hands, as saith the prophet. Okay, he doesn't dwell in temples made with hands. Where does he dwell? Let's go to Corinthians. It tells us. All right, let's go to 1 Corinthians here. 1 Corinthians 3:16, and it tells us, know ye not that ye are the temple of the Most High? And that would be the Israelites, okay? And that the Spirit of the Most High dwelleth in you. If any man defile the temple of the Most High, him shall the Most High destroy. For the temple of the Most High is holy, which temple ye are. So it will be the prophets and teachers that return back to the Lord, all right, the seed line of the Israelites. When we go here to Isaiah chapter 59 and verses 21, it tells us that the Lord is sent his spirit upon the seed line of Israel, all right, the Israelites, okay, all right. Isaiah 59:21. As for me, this is my covenant with them, that will be the Israelites, saith the Lord, my spirit that is upon thee, and my words which I have put in thy mouth shall not depart out of thy mouth, nor out of the mouth of thy seed, nor out of the mouth of thy seed, saith the Lord, from henceforth and forever. All right, and that will be the seed line of the Israelites. Okay, all right. So the Lord is not dealing with the Christian church. Okay, they have false doctrine. All right, and the Lord is just not dealing with them. But the elect of Israel would be risen up in the last days, and they would cast down the imaginations and false arguments of the Christian church and all religions. Okay, 2 Corinthians, and that's what has happened. All right, and that's the reason why people are leaving. Okay, because their spirit is, the spirit of the Lord is rested upon the men, the Israelites, and the prophets, the word has went all over the planet Earth. 2 Corinthians 10 and verses 4. For the weapons of our warfare are not carnal, but mighty through the Most High to pulling down of strongholds, casting down imaginations and every high thing that exalted itself against the knowledge of the Most High, and bringing into captivity every thought to the obedience of the Most High. And that's what the men on the highways and hedges have done, okay? The teachers and prophets of the Heavenly Father. Jeremiah 1 and 10, the Lord raised up the prophets and teachers, all right? The elect of Israel, all right? Jeremiah 1 and 10, see, I have this day set thee over the nations and over the kingdoms, to root out and to pull down and to destroy and to throw down, to build and to plant. That's what the men of the Lord was set up to do, all right? Jeremiah 28 and 8, we were to prophesy against America, Babylon the Great, all right, and all the nations where we were in captivity. Jeremiah 28 and 8, the prophets that had been before me and before thee of old prophesied both against many countries, against great kingdoms of war and of evil and of pestilence. And that's what the Christian church is not doing, okay? They have a message of love, and the Lord is more than love. All right, he even creates evil. Isaiah chapter 45 and 7. I form the light and create darkness. I make peace and create what? Evil. I, the Lord, do all these things. But through their false doctrine, that they're preaching, they preach that the Lord is nothing but love. See, this goes against the Lord. So the Lord is not dealing with the Christian church. They also preach against hate. All right, when the Lord does hate, all right, he hates Esau, Edom. All right, let's go there. All right, Romans. Let me see what that is. Chapter Romans chapter 9 and verses 13. As it is written, Jacob have I loved, but Esau have I hated. But they tell their congregation that the Lord is nothing but love. So this goes against the Lord, and he is not dealing with them in the spirit. He's only dealing with the seed line of Israel, as spoken of in Isaiah chapter 59 and 21. All right, okay. So the prophets and teachers have cast down all these imaginations. All right, and the word of the Lord has covered the whole earth. Okay, that's let's see, Habakkuk 2. Habakkuk 2, and I think it's 16, 18, somewhere around there. Yeah. Let's see here. Yeah, it's 14, Salakia. Habakkuk 2 and 14. For the earth shall be filled with the knowledge of the glory of the Lord as the water covers the sea. And then when we go to Romans chapter 10, Romans chapter 10, and I think it's 18th verse, it says, well, we'll go up to 15. And how shall they preach except they be sent? Oh, no, we'll go up to 14. How then shall they call on him in whom they have not believed? And how shall they believe in him of whom they have not heard? And how shall they hear without a preacher? And how shall they preach except they be sent? As it is written, how beautiful are the feet of them that preach the gospel of peace and bring glad tidings of good things. And that will be the prophets and teachers on the highways and hedges, the Hebrew Israelites. But they have not all obeyed the gospel of Isaiah, saith the Lord. Who has believed our report? That will be the chosen elect of the Israelites. Okay, so then faith cometh by hearing, and hearing by the word of the Most High. But I say, have they not heard? This is the point. Yes, verily, their sound went into all the earth. Okay, so the whole earth has heard this message, okay, of salvation by the Lord, okay, that the Lord is going to deliver the elect of Israel, the Israelites, okay, not everybody, and their words into the ends of the world. So what is happening? The spirit, the people's spirit is broken, Christian spirit, and they see that what we said is the truth, a lot of them, all right, and the Lord is breaking up these Christian churches, all right, as you can see, 100,000 churches could shutter. Okay, you see that? All right. John 6 and 44 tells us you can't come to the Lord unless he draw you. All right. John 6 and 44. No man can come to me except the Father which has sent me draw him, and I will raise him up at the last day. He raising the men of the Lord up to prophesy and to teach. All right, the truth in the last days. Okay. All right. John 15 and 16. Ye have not chosen me, but I have chosen you, and ordained you that ye should go and bring forth fruit, and that your fruit should remain, that whatsoever ye shall ask of the Father in my name, he may give it you. Okay? So the Lord chooses his elect. Okay? The Lord, he chooses his elect. Okay? So with that being said, all right, let's read Isaiah 60. We'll finish with that. Isaiah chapter 60 and verses 1. Arise, shine, for thy light is come, and the glory of the Lord is risen upon thee. You see that? That's talking to the Israelites, okay? For behold, the darkness shall cover the earth. That's what's happening, and that's why they are leaving the Christian church. And gross darkness the people. But the Lord, whose name is Yahweh, in the Paleo Hebrew, his son is Yahweh Shai. Okay, it's not God, because there are many gods. Shall arise upon thee, and his glory shall be seen upon thee. And with that, I say Shalom. All praises to Yahweh, Bashem, Yahweh Shai, Bashem, Rakakwadash. Shalom.